Hello everybody, welcome to the Tube. There's a lot going on. Here's some of our lineup. We've got Google that introduced its new flagship phones and more. The new Tesla Model X that has arrived. Netflix helps you to, well, Netflix and chill. We're gonna go viral and much more. Let's go. Just after Apple got all of our attention with their events for the iPhones and Apple TV, Google held its own event on Tuesday night and introduced new Nexus phones, an updated Chromecast, and a new Pixel-branded Android tablet. There are two Nexus phones this year, the high-end Nexus 6P made by Huawei and a slightly more modest LG-built Nexus 5X. We also learned that the Chromecast, a little stick that lets users stream just about anything to a TV, has gotten an update. The new Chromecast 2 supports 5GHz Wi-Fi, making it significantly faster. Here is Google's pitch for the new Chromecast. Let's see it before we dive deep into the announcements.
Yo, coming in with the sound fresher than cut grass. Second that we enter if you must start. Rush past like you forgot in your mind. All the drivers all up in the face like, can I see a bus?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love that sound. Yeah, I love that sound. So flick your fag butts out once on a mad one like your mama come home. Do the hum, mama.
With me is Niv Lilian, editor-in-chief at the Uplink magazine, to help us understand what all the fuss is about. Good evening. Good evening. So for the first time, Google are releasing two Nexus phones. Why is that?
Basically, they are doing, they are revamping actually two models that they've released last year and the year before. That was the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 6. And now they are revamping both the Nexus 5 and both the Nexus 6. So this is why they're releasing two phones. Of course, they have two screen sizes similar to the iPhone and the iPhone Plus.
And what are the reactions from journalists on the two phones?
Well, there hasn't been a lot of hours since they announced themselves, but from the first reactions, I believe from some things that I've read among my colleagues abroad, is that they are very enthusiastic about both the phones. I think that they are a little more enthusiastic about the 5X, but I think both the phones are interesting devices.
Well, tell me why. I mean, give us your point of view on the two new phones.
Well, first of all, Google, well, much like the Nexus line, Google again is putting some very high-end hardware, giving it in affordable price. The Nexus 5X costs a little less than $400, and if I remember correctly, the Nexus 6 costs around $500. So basically, we're talking about flagship phones that are being sold at a mid-range price. So that's the first thing. And another thing that Google is doing, they are putting Apple in their sites, because they are from last night's announcement, they were doing a photo comparison of the camera that the new Nexuses have, and against the iPhone 6s camera, and actually what they produced was that their cameras are giving much better pictures in low light, and that's basically beating Apple head on.
Okay, interesting. And let's talk about the Chromecast. What's new there?
Chromecast, basically, they gave it a sort of a revamped version. I think that it was much needed because they haven't updated, other than software updates that they have been rolling for the device. They haven't done any major hardware updates since the original device. But now they also added they also expanding the line, and they added a new Chromecast for audio that you can plug into your audio receiver. And regarding that, we should pay attention that Google now is putting a lot of attention to its music service. And I believe, and we should remember that all of Google's devices, and Google showed a lot of hardware last night. All of Google devices, in the end, are supposed to help them in their end goal to get information about us, about their users, about what the users like and don't like, and resell it as data for the advertisers.
You know, because for me it's just a $35 little dongle. I don't understand why it was so important for them to announce it, the new version, in a big event.
Well, first of all, they've gained a lot of competition for their Chromecast stick. Microsoft has their own stick. Roku has also stick out its own version. Amazon as well. I think they needed to address the competition in that field, and I think they mainly used the event to introduce the new Chromecast. And of course, again, they've introduced a new product, which is the Chromecast Audio. Okay,
and what else did we learn from the event?
It was a very fast-paced event. They were giving out all the announcements. Well, first the Nexus Phones were already leaked out days and even weeks before the event itself. So it wasn't a big surprise, and everybody knew what to expect. But still, in the first half hour, they gave out all the big announcements. The Thunder Picture itself was insinuating regarding the Pixel C, which was also anticipated right at the beginning, and then they pulled out the new Nexus. They didn't waste any time, and they were giving out all the new features, and we should remember that they also introduced Android 6. And I believe that on the way they mentioned their total domination in the smartphone business with 1.4 billion active devices, which is a staggering figure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Now we're moving on. The 140 character limit on Twitter became its trademark over the years, but now Twitter is considering changing this trademark. The social network may release a new product which would allow users to share updates longer than the well-known limit. It's not clear what the product would actually look like, but sources close to Twitter told Recode that it would enable Twitter users to publish long-form content to the service. The company has already experimented with pushing the character limit in the past. For instance, it removed the limit for direct messages last July, and it also added a retweet with comment option in April to give people more words to comment on tweets they share. Here is one of Twitter founders, Jack Dorsey, back in April, explaining what made them go with only 140 characters.
The conceptual side of it was we believed that this constraint inspires creativity. And if we really constrain the size of the canvas, people might be more off the cuff and they might be more in the moment. And that's really what we wanted, because we wanted this to feel, again, very live and just very, very human and very of the moment. And the metaphor, we use is like if I were to give you a red paintbrush and this huge canvas that just took up this entire wall, and I asked you to go paint that canvas, you compose yourself naturally, right? Because this is a huge canvas, and you want to do the right thing. That's what kind of goes through your mind. But if I were to give you that same paintbrush and that same red paint, and I give you a business card and I say, make a mark, just very quick to make the mark. And that's kind of the feeling we wanted.
It's time once again to catch up with multi-billionaire and friend of the show, Elon Musk. It's 3.5 years since Tesla CEO first teased the public with the Model X, an electric crossover SUV with falcon wing doors. Now the company has delivered the vehicle to its first customers. In a splashy debut at Tesla's headquarters, the company handed the keys of the Model X Signature Edition. Musk has called it the hardest car to build in the world, and indeed the first vehicles missed their promised delivery date by more than 2 years. It's the first electric SUV of its kind, and Musk hopes the new car will help bring more electric cars to the roads, even if it's a little pricey, over $100,000 for the basic model. Musk has a vision of selling 500,000 cars by 2020. Good luck, Mr. Friend. And now we all want, to Netflix and chill, as the term became somehow an innuendo for going up to my place to have some sex. Now the streaming company wants to exploit the meme even more. Netflix has unveiled its design for a gadget that can dim your lights and fire up Netflix simultaneously at the push of a button. It's a literal Netflix and chill button, and Netflix is clearly in on the joke. The button is not a product offered for sale, but one that the company encourages its customers to build on their own. Netflix's site contains instructions for bringing it to life. It contains a development board called a Spark Core, which enables Wi-Fi based access to the internet. It also has an infrared transmitter to send the same signal as the TV remote's Netflix button. Here is Netflix showing us, well, the new button. The connection between Apple and China is only getting stronger. China is already Apple's largest market for app downloads, and the company hopes consumers will be just as eager to try out Apple Music. The streaming music service launched there today, along with iTunes Movies and iBooks. In the US, Apple Music will set you back $10 a month. In China, meanwhile, it's going for radically less. It will cost just 10 yen per month. That's $1.50. The Asian nation is an increasingly important market for Apple, which launched an aggressive retail expansion in China at the start of 2015, and its smartphone business has grown 75% year on year in the country. Good luck. And for our ongoing segment, Useless Tech Things, Tom Scott, inventor and geek, decided to make a real-life keyboard for emojis. Why? What? Just take a look.
This is my real-life emoji keyboard. 14 regular keyboards, all connected to this one laptop, more than 1,000 individually placed stickers, and a bit of special software so that every single one of these buttons types a different character. And every possible emoji is here, at least as I record this. If you want smileys, right in front of you. Animals and plants are over here, along with food, which I guess is kind of the same thing. Transport is over here. Symbols and dingbats and sports and time, they're all down here. And then over on the right, we have the flags of all nations and a few miscellaneous symbols.
And to end the show with a bang, Dig made a compilation of sick people destroying their precious iPhones. Take a look.
Why are you doing this to me? Am I not living up to what I'm supposed to be? Why am I seething with this animosity? I think you owe me a great big apology. I really don't know what you mean. Seems like salvation comes only in our dreams. And through my hatred go all the more extreme.
Yikes. And that's it. Show's over. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new show of theCUBE. You can obviously go to our website. It's i24news.tv. Our show will be there. All of our shows will be there. Again, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.